One of the things that we're super excited about when it comes to the Ignite Women in Business and Insurance Conference is our community partner. And every year, the women who participate in our event show up and participate in a raffle for a Gucci handbag, and all of the money, 100% of the proceeds, are donated to a community partner. This year, I am excited to announce that Abby DiSanti from First National, or FNIC, requested an organization be our community partner, and that organization is Village Roots. Today, I got to sit down with Abby and Janece from Village Roots and talk to them a little bit more about their mission and what help and support they need. And I'm so excited for you all to listen to this episode, learn more about Village Roots and how you can support, but also to see how their mission and theme fits beautifully into the next Ignite conference. You don't want to miss this episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Kara Kirsch, the founder and host of the Ignite Women in Insurance and Business podcast. As everybody knows, the conference is coming up March 3rd, 2026. You do not want to miss it. Our theme this year is Rooted and Resilient, growing through what you're going through. And we have a fantastic lineup of speakers and contributors, and we would love to have you at the largest garden party in March in Omaha, Nebraska. So if you want to learn more, reach out to me on LinkedIn. One of the things that we do at the conference every year is we have a community sponsor, because I think it's really important when you bring people together to give back. And I probably get that from my mom because she's so giving, but I too am a big giver. And this year I had a very special something happen. And I would say it was probably this summer or this fall. And I got an email from a beautiful woman who has attended Ignite in the past, who I'm going to introduce in a minute. And she said, hey, I don't know if you take recommendations, but I have a nonprofit in the community that needs our help, and I would love for them to be our community partner. And so this morning, I have the great honor of being here today with the person that recommended that organization and the person from the organization to give visibility to what they're doing and how our community can help. So I'd like to welcome Abby DiSanti and Janece Ferris to the show.
Thanks. We're excited to be here. Yeah, thank you so much, Kara.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Abby, you're the Senior Vice President of HR at FNIC, and you're also a board member for Village Roots.
Yep.
And Janece, you're the Executive Director. So let's just get to know both of you. So, Abby, do you want to start? Maybe talk a little bit about where you're from, your career, and also what you got from the Ignite conference when you came.
Yeah. So I really got my start in insurance, which is how you and I kind of got connected over the years. I started at my professional career at FNIC almost 10 years ago, which is kind of crazy to say, that it's almost been a full decade in insurance and with the same organization. And so I, through my time with FNIC, obviously Ignite, originally Women in Insurance, now Women in Business, really did a great job of putting on this conference every year that really helped to bolster and energize not only myself as an attendee, but also my employees that I supported at FNIC, because we have a huge group that attends almost every year to the Ignite conference.
Great. FNIC, shout out to you, because you've always been a sponsor and a believer and a contributor, and I'm grateful.
And it was always just so energizing, right? Like you leave, it's kind of one of those points in time where it's after the start of the year, you're like kicking off your year. So it's a great opportunity to reflect on, what do I want to get out of this upcoming year? And so getting all those folks together in a room, bringing that energy, I always found that like inspiring. And then, one of the things I remember about my first time was the community partner impact and getting to get exposure to an organization I otherwise wouldn't have, which I can't remember the name of the one that was there my first year, but it was the one that provided feminine hygiene products to women in need. Do you remember?
To period poverty.
Yes.
Did you even know period poverty was a thing?
No, I didn't know it.
Access period.
Yeah.
And that was awesome because I was a young woman who had period poverty. Mm-hmm. And so the cause was very near to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's not okay. And I have a 28-year-old daughter who, when she first started her, journey into womanhood, I'll call it. It's some bullshit, I'll say. But I was like, oh my God, here's all the things, because my mother was like, go figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I was not doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, here's all the things. Do you need a day off of school? Do you need, I mean, she probably took a day off a month.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you guys know this, but our ancestors, like way back, when women had their time, they actually went away. They went to a place where they were loved on. They were pampered. They rested. It was a whole thing. Like
had
in
no
Greek
idea.
times.
Wow.
Yeah. They called it something. Someone told me about it. I forget who it was, but yes. I love access period.
And it stuck with me, and you get to learn about an organization that's doing all these great things for women in the area. And I just remembered her speaking and learning more about it. And so when I recently joined the board of Village Roots about 6 months ago, and as Janece and I kind of started planning for this upcoming year and what are our goals and what are the things we want to hit. And part of my role as a working board member for the organization is to make sure that we're continually getting visibility and access to fundraising opportunities and all of those things. And so I kind of racked my brain of who do I know that contributes in that way and helps connect others. And I immediately thought of Ignite and the work that you've done. So that's kind of how we all wound up together.
So fun.
And it was such a fitting when we chatted, to the message of the conference. and
Absolutely.
the work that Janece and Village Roots does. It was just a great natural fit.
Totally. And the thing I loved about it, I'm going to love learning about Village Roots and supporting you for sure. But Abby, I want you to know that what I loved about it was the courage you had in just asking. And I think there's so much power in your ask. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. And so we can't be better if we don't ask more questions and ask for support. And normally what we do as a committee is we pick a few and then we pick the one. Honestly, I didn't even go to the committee. I was like, okay, like this is amazing. I picked it right away. And I told the committee the story and everybody was like, great. And I loved that too, because no one on the committee was like, well, you didn't follow the process, or we had a process and we didn't have a process. That's what we'd done. Something different happened this year and we were able to pivot. So Janece, tell me about you and your upbringing. Where are you from?
So that's a $1 million question, Abby and I were just chatting about.
Other than your mother. I always tell people that.
That's great.
Other than your mother.
I'm from the area. I'm Council Bluffs, Omaha, Lincoln. I've been around the area my whole life. I've been in Omaha working in the foster care world for about 15 years now. And so that's kind of the world that I know is all related to foster care.
Are you a foster parent?
I am a retired foster parent. I like
Okay.
to say my husband and I have a 28-year-old adopted daughter as well. I just became a grandma.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Yeah, foster grandma. I love it.
Yeah,
Love it so much.
Grandma. And we had 3 girls that lived with us. I loved their mom. She was great. She did everything she was supposed to, and it was still such a hard fight for the kids to go back to her. And that just kind of really lit the passion in me to how can we help these moms or dads, keep their families together.
Yeah. So tell us about Village Roots.
So Village Roots, we just rebranded. We announced the name on December 1st at Castle Monday. We had a big event at the Jocelyn Castle that was super fun. Yes. And previously our name was Apex Community Services, but we've been around since 2023. We have a program called Integrated Family Care that is kind of like whole family foster care, where the parent or parents get to move into a mentor's home with their kids. They stay together there. The mentor helps with budgeting and meal planning and daily structure building. And then our staff also support with those things, with employment and with finding stable housing for the family to go to.
Is this a national thing or a local thing?
It is a local thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, I asked that question because of this. We're about to put you on the map. Okay. So last week I had the privilege of attending, and if you've been watching my Facebook, you've seen it, Isaiah 117. And so Isaiah 117 is a home for children on removal day.
That's amazing. Where's
And
national?
the woman that founded it, I'm going to introduce you to her
Okay.
because there's a direct connection between the work you're doing and the work she's doing. And there are 45 Isaiah houses across the country, and they're trying to build one in Des Moines. We don't have one here.
Wow.
And the Isaiah house is, when she spoke last week, she shared, her own foster care story, but also what happens on removal day. And she's a teacher, and she was like, I used to think removal day was a great day. And now I know removal day is a terrible day. It's a day kids get removed from a home that they love. We might not like their home. We might think it's not good, but they do. And they get removed from a mama, and we might think she's not good, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to DHHS with a garbage bag of their supplies, and imagine how that feels. And then they go sleep on the DHHS floor while they wait for someone to take them. And so there were two problems she was trying to solve for. One of them was giving kids a space between foster care. So removal day and foster care. The second, which I think is a genius, is she creates a space that allows foster parents to say yes easier. So imagine a family of 3 children arrives at DHHS and they have lice and they are unkempt. And you call their foster parent and say at 8:00 at night, I have 3 children. We want to keep them together. They have lice and they have no clothes.
Right.
It's very hard for a foster parent to say yes.
Absolutely.
And so the home allows for the children to go and be loved and to be reminded that they are valued and to give foster parents the things they need from the home to say yes.
That's incredible.
And I'm like hell bent now on making this issue more visible. And I'm so thankful to my cousin Chris Wilson, who is a foster parent and made this visible for me because I was able to contribute. I donated a room in the house.
Oh, that's
The
amazing.
Kirsch Group's first donation. So I just founded my first enterprise that is going live January 19th, an employee benefits brokerage.
Congrats, by the way. So exciting.
And so we made our first give. And we made a give before we made money. So there you go. Hopefully God will reward that. But my cousin is raising money now for the room that she and her husband are doing, and they're doing the backyard.
Oh, that's
And so I'm going to send it to you guys. And I believe that Rhonda, I believe that's the name of the founder. They're in 4 countries and they have 44 houses.
Wow.
that's amazing.
And the houses all look the same, you guys. And so I'm going to connect you because I'm feeling this connection. And honestly, I said to someone, I said, if my business takes off the way I believe, I'm going to build that house.
That's so great.
It's a great goal to have.
Because, you would be surprised at the number of people that will come forward to help you.
And that's part of the, if I'm just to speak a little bit just on the mission of Village Roots. And, we believe strong families who are supported help build strong communities.
Absolutely.
And so part of that is, knowing when you need to ask for help, when you need to lean on other people, when you get to make those connection points. And so I think that's another big reason why we felt that this was a natural fit for the theme,
yes.
rooted in resilience.
Well, and especially your new name.
Going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the sign. It was
all
the best
topical, and it all just kind of fit together perfectly because everyone goes through those seasons of hardships, or those seasons where you just, you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know where to start as far as looking and asking for help. And so organizations like Village Roots, like Isaiah, those are great opportunities to continue to bolster the community and help others when they're ready to start asking for help and extending their hand out.
Yeah. Well, our community is going to love you. And the way we structure the day, so I don't know if Abby's given you any hints on this, but
It'll be a surprise.
Okay.
No,
so you'll come and speak about the organization, and all day, and we changed this up and it worked. So a couple years ago, I thought, it's fine to ask people to contribute, and I love for people to contribute whatever they can. But I want them to try and get something. And so I upped the ante, and we've had Gucci handbags for raffle, and all of the raffle proceeds go to you.
That's so exciting.
And for the last couple of years, it's been a couple $1,000.
That's
It's
incredible.
so awesome because women show up, and there's some men too, and they want that Gucci handbag. I mean, I want it.
yeah.
Right.
Well, who doesn't want something nice for themselves,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And to also contribute to an awesome cause.
Yeah.
It's like a win-win.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then usually, if we're able, Ignite will make a dollar for dollar contribution in addition to what's raised. And I say that because Kirsch Transportation, which is my mom's company, they usually make a sizable contribution. She's very charitable. And so together we make sure that you leave with the funds that we can raise that will support you in the mission.
That's amazing.
And so I'm really excited about that.
That's wonderful because, with the organization being 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Started back in 2023 and still getting our feet up under us. And this will be incredibly impactful. And we always try and think about things in terms of, especially from a fundraising perspective, like how many families, how many months worth of support for one family is this going to help? And a little goes a long way. A lot of our funding right now is through DHHS, which is always kind of iffy. And so, however, one of our goals this year is broadening our base for fundraising and where we get funds, and it just goes straight back into helping provide for those families that come through our program.
And Ignite does not keep any of the raffle proceeds. We give 100% of it to you.
That's so big. I wanted to cry when we had our first conversation, just the opportunity that this is.
Visibility too, right? Visibility
it's so
is huge.
great. So Abby, what drew you to Janece? How did you guys meet each other, and how did you decide to get involved?
Yeah, great question. So over the past few years, just my life has been in flux. My husband and I, we were living in North Carolina for the last 2 years, and I was working remotely, fully from home. It was kind of a short-term stint. We didn't get a chance to build like a community or a base in North Carolina where we were at. And so we always knew we kind of wanted to come back to the Midwest and to Omaha, because Nebraska is just so great.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
It can't be beat. There's no place like it. And so when I knew we were going to be moving back, I knew that I wanted to get more involved in the community beyond what I had been when we previously lived here. And so I had started at the time, even when I was still looking in North Carolina, just browsing and seeing what was out there in terms of ways in which I could offer my time and support to, some sort of nonprofit organization. And so I actually just happened to come across the online posting for a board member for Apex at the time. And Janece and I connected, I think, over Zoom for a little while. And it was just such a natural fit because I knew, again, with the organization being kind of like greener in its startup phase, there was a lot of opportunity for me to lend my skill set, even though I don't know and still barely know anything about child welfare and foster care services. Your board is pretty stock full of people.
Some of that, but we need her HR expertise more than
And so it was a good way. I always want to be able to provide actual help, not just like honorary board titles. Was not what I was looking for. I wanted to be a working board member, and so it just felt right. And then we moved back in July and immediately started my first board meeting, I think like 2 weeks later, and it just has continued to evolve from there. And so that's just a little bit of, it was kind of serendipitous and but a natural fit.
Wonderful. And are you a parent?
I'm not. No.
Okay. Are you a foster parent?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So again, basically no child welfare, but I have 4 nieces and nephews, and my mom was a teacher for a very, very long time. So are both of my sisters. So education and like school systems are very familiar with.
Yeah.
So know the struggles there and know the struggles that any parent often has to go through. So that definitely resonated with me.
Well, and as a woman, we talk a lot about this, not only on the show, but at the conference around the struggles that we go through, to manage the life that we have and to contribute professionally. And everybody's story is a little bit different and unique. And that's one of the beauties of this show and the conferences, that we bring together many different perspectives, because the more perspective we have, the better we can show up. And so I'm excited about that continuing, and I'm glad you raised your hand and got involved.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Janece,
too.
what drew you? Why did you start the organization? And then secondly, after Abby shared what the opportunity was, why'd you say yes?
Because you've seen how fantastic.
She said, "Do it."
So glad. I was running a foster care program at a different nonprofit in Omaha, Release Inc.
Okay.
I had started the foster care program there. We really wanted to build and kind of do it different and better, and how can we really support foster parents? So I was passionate about that. I loved doing it. And at the time, Apex Family Care said, "We've been doing this program. It's called Integrated Family Care. You believe in families being together. It seems like a great fit." And so that's when I said, "Sure, I'll come do this." I wasn't really looking to change it up. I wasn't really, I wasn't unhappy. I loved Release. I had a great team there, but I'm just so passionate about how can we help these families. Talking about the removal day and just how traumatic it is for the kids and
the parents.
absolutely, yeah.
But
yeah.
kids, yes.
And, I have 2 little boys, and one of my favorite sayings is subpar mom running on grace. Like, there's people that could parent my kids better than I can, everybody could be better. But how can we help these parents be the best version of themselves so that they can have their kids with them?
Yeah. Yes. What'd you say? Subpar.
Yeah, mom running on grace.
Yeah. It's so true.
It is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's so true. My daughter is a new mom. Well, my grandson is 2,
Okay.
and he's everything. Let me be clear. Perfection.
First child is.
Yes. I mean, he's brilliant and super. I mean, it's everything. And watching her be a mother and watching her struggle, even in a good support system, is so hard to watch. And so being a parent is the hardest job you'll ever do, and couple it with poverty and addiction and other things that make it harder.
Your own childhood.
Yes, that you've not understood. I won't even say dealt with, because you can't really deal with it. You have to accept it and forgive.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the biggest things that, is an important part of the journey. Well, and I'm sure in what your daughter's experienced, maybe, and what many of the parents who go through the IFC program experiences, there's a lot of stigma around asking for help too. Like in today's world, I think it's just kind of assumed, oh, you should be able to do it by yourself, or you should be able to become a mom and know X, Y, and Z and all the things. And the reality is that's just not how we're built as humans. It takes a village. It takes a strong community to be able to support anyone through all of the times. And so I think that's something, even in my professional life, that I found is, for women especially, it can be really hard to pause and say, I need help here.
Yeah, right.
And to even know where to go. And so I think that's, if we were talking about messages through the conference and being rooted and resilient, I think that's a huge part of it, is having people feel comfortable, saying, I don't know here, or I need some help. Because I think even in my own personal situation 5 years ago, I don't think I'd ever have reached out to you, Kara, and been like, hey, I have this need, here's my ask. Because I would have been like, oh, there's no value I could provide to Kara, so she's not going to give me anything. And so kind of working through and growing through some of those areas, I think, is huge for anybody.
Well, I think it's courage. So courage is what causes us to be able to believe that we can do the things that we set out to do. And courage doesn't mean that it's going to go exactly as you planned. I mean, look at me. I lost my job on November 10th and launched my company on December 2nd. And I lost my job on November 10th, and I launched my company on December 2nd. And it wasn't the plan, but it's the plan now.
Yeah.
And I have confidence that it's all going to work out just fine. But it's different than what I planned.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the best laid plans are, funny to God. And that's the case here. So I'm just excited to have FNIC support the conference again. I'm excited to have you there. I'm very excited to have our listeners for the podcast and our guests who attend the conference know more about the great work you're doing. And, now you have essentially access to 2 women's networks. You have Abby's network, and she'll continue to promote you, but I will too. And so anything you need. A couple of years ago, I did a housewarming party for a nonprofit, which was creating a house for women that were sex trafficked.
Oh, wow.
And so my company, I spearheaded a housewarming party for the house.
That's so
And
great.
so we did furniture. I had my whole network we rented a U-Haul that day and drove around and picked up all the furniture at people's houses that they didn't need. It was clean and good, because we wanted the women who went there to know that they were valued.
Yeah.
And Nebraska Furniture Mart stepped up and made a donation with a washer and dryer. And Baird Home did a makeup and skincare drive at their office. And so we had beauty products for women to help them feel beautiful. And we donated so much.
That's
all the
amazing.
things they needed for the house. So that's something too that I would just don't let any ask be too small. And everybody loves a good drive.
Yeah.
People want to help.
Yes,
They do.
And people want to help and know that it's going to have an impact with the people that need it. I think that's one of the things that some of the big nonprofits struggle with, especially with what happens in them sometimes. You know, funds are misused, or the people who actually need the support don't get it. And not that there's anything wrong with those big nonprofits. We need them. But I think that the grassroots ones often are giving, you know, directly. It's kind of like Ignite not keeping any portion of the raffle.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we know you do.
Right.
And so we're going to give that to you. So where can, Abby, professionally, where can people find you?
Oh, professionally. Well, on LinkedIn, obviously, Abby DiSanti. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know where else, you know, I'm not big on the socials, you know.
Well, they know how to find you. So if you want to get in touch with Abby and learn more about how she got involved, you can reach out to her on LinkedIn. She's also at FNIC. So I'm sure you can call 1-800-FNIC.
100-FNIC. And then, FNICgroup.com. You know, we've got a wonderful website and just redone recently. So all the great things there.
So great. And Janece, where can they find you and information about Village Roots?
Yeah, so we have a new website with our new name, and it is villageroots.family, which I just love. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either. Org wasn't available, and we found something better. So see, it always works out.
Yes, I agree.
And we are on socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I try to post things. We had a mom move into her apartment this week and got to share some pictures because she was, you know, okay with that. And I think it just helps to really see, like, this is the story and the person.
The stories are what compel us to move.
Yeah.
Because so many times people don't tell their stories for fear of fill in the blank. And the only way that we can know what's going on is if you hear the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only way we can help is if you hear the story. And the only way we can do better is if we hear the story.
Right.
And so that's something that I feel really moved to do this year at Ignite is you're going to hear some pretty vulnerable stories of women who have trudged through the mud and are standing on the backside of that. And I'm so excited about it.
I'm so glad I get to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you guys, first of all, for being here.
Thank you.
Loved getting to know both of you better. And for those of you that are listening, a couple of things. One is get your ticket to the Ignite conference. You can find it on Eventbrite, March 3rd, 2026. Secondly, if you feel so inclined to help Village Roots, please do. You can do that on their website. And also, if you feel compelled to give in another way, you can reach out to Janece. I'm sure she has other needs that are beyond financial, time, talent, treasure. And for everybody who's listening, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You want to make sure that you know when new Ignite episodes are coming out. So thank you guys both so much for being here. I loved every minute of it. And Abby, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being brave and having the courage to stand up and for bringing such a tremendous organization to our next conference. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. We're so excited, and the visibility is going to be awesome.
Awesome.
It'll be a great event.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.